Senator Reynolds, fire away.
Thank you very much, Acting Deputy President. Well, I'm delighted to present the report of the Australian Parliamentary Delegation to the 149th Interparliamentary Union Assembly held in Geneva from the 13th to the 17th of October, followed by a bilateral visit to France from the 17th to 18th of October this year. The delegation was most ably led by the Speaker, the Honourable Milton Dick MP, and the delegation comprised of myself, Senator O'Neill, Warren Entsch, and also Mr Graham Perrott. And I think, on reflection, this delegation and the work that this delegation has done over the course of this parliament absolutely demonstrates the power of parliamentary diplomacy. And there's a number of things I want to highlight to that effect. So the delegation was particularly active during this assembly, and one of the many highlights of the contributions of all delegation members included Mr Speaker's appointment as chairperson of the Subcommittee on Finance for the IPU, and in that capacity he presented the IPU financial report to the Executive Committee, to the IPU Governing Council and also to various geopolitical groups. Senator O'Neill was appointed to the Bureau of the Standing Committee of Democracy and Human Rights, as well as her appointment as the President of that committee, and I congratulate her most heartily for that. It is a very significant appointment. The advancement of my own work on orphanage trafficking proceeded very pleasingly again during this assembly, and I secured the agreement of the Standing Committee of Democracy and Human Rights to debate the implementation of the 2023 IPU resolution on orphanage trafficking that I was rapporteur for and took through the Assembly over the course of 12 months. The Australian delegation was also active in a variety of other IPU forums. Mr Speaker participated in meetings of the IPU Executive Committee as a member of that committee and the chairperson of its subcommittee on finance. Senator O'Neill also moderated a panel debate on a fair global financial system for the Standing Committee on Sustainable Development and participated in the work of the committee to promote respect for international humanitarian law as a member of that committee. And again, I also congratulate Senator O'Neill for her initiative, because not only did she facilitate that debate, it was actually Senator O'Neill's initiative, which was very well received by many countries across many geographic political groups at the IPU. I also served as a panellist at a workshop on combating child labour and participated in the Forum of Women as a member of its bureau. Mr Perrott, his first assembly, served on the IPU Emergency Item Drafting Committee, and I'm also now rapporteur for the next IPU on a two-party solution in the Middle East, which I have no doubt will be challenging, to say the least. The emergency debate and the resolution of the Assembly this time was on a response by parliamentarians to the urgent plea by the UN Secretary-General to recommit to multilateralism for global peace, justice and also sustainability. The debate culminated in a resolution on the same theme, which calls on the international community, including the IPU membership, to end the appalling impact of conflict on children and also take other action to protect vulnerable people. Now, in relation to the bilateral visit to France, during our visit to France, the delegation was officially received by the President of the National Assembly at the Bourbon Palace, and we met with many others, parliamentarians across both chambers. We also met with Mr Pierre Rabadan, who is the Deputy Mayor of Paris, who was in charge of sport at the Olympic and Paralympic Games, which were again so successful, and we learnt many lessons from that. Now, in the afternoon, and probably the most significant one for all of us, was on the afternoon of the 18th of October, the delegation had the great privilege of travelling to the Arc de Triomphe, where Mr Speaker laid a wreath at their last post, the equivalent of last post ceremony, and we all participated in what was an incredibly moving ceremony at the tomb of the unknown soldier under the Arc de Triomphe. So on behalf of the Australian delegation, there are many people to thank. The Parliamentary Library for their brilliant briefing documents yet again, but also to the ambassadors both in Geneva and Paris, and all of their staff who provide us great support. Thank you.